So the next special effects look we're gonna do is a infected wound. It's actually gonna be the combination of the two, of the bruise and the gash itself. Once you guys know the basics and actually get a hold of all the products for this, you can go a long way and do a bunch of different things. But for the time being, we're gonna go ahead and do an infected wound on the side of her mouth. Okay, so I'm gonna try again with the 3rd degree, but I took off the residue. See how it comes off? Super easy. And I'm gonna go ahead and do it again. Make sure to clean your products or the spatulas you're gonna use again, because again, you do not want to mix them because they will coagulate and then they'll mess up. But we're gonna go ahead in with compound A, just a little bit less than a teaspoon. Compound B, this one is a little bit more of a gelatin feel to it. It's a little bit harder. Perfect. We're gonna go ahead and mix them. Make sure you wanna get that peanut butter feel at the end. So I had let you guys know before that I had cleaned my spatulas before. Make sure to do that with all of your brushes and all of the tools that you guys are using. So that way if you guys are using, you have different models or you have different talent that's gonna be in your chair for the day, make sure everything's clean and sanitized. Not only for the safety of the models that you guys are gonna be working with, but also your guys' product. That way it can go a long way and you don't have to be wasting it. So I got that peanut butter consistency again. I'm gonna go ahead and go on the side of her mouth. I'm gonna be doing kind of like a gash look, but also adding some warts to it because it is gonna be infected. So there's more likely gonna be like a wart or possibly like a pimple or two because it is infected and bacteria is gonna be building up there. Ew. There you go. I'm circulating it so that way it can make it look like a little wart. Again, where this will sit for about like 2 to 3 minutes. This will probably be a little bit longer because it is a wart or a pimple that we're gonna do later on. If you guys want to, you guys can bring up some pictures as reference. It's just depending on what you guys are doing and what the film is about and what your character is going through. Don't be afraid to be mess up. If you do mess up or if your model scratches it or whatnot, special effects makeup is one of the awesome things that you're able to go based off your mistakes. So here I'm not gonna be really doing warts, but I am adding on a little bit of texture. And if you guys are worried for the removal and taking off all this stuff, a little bit of warm water and a face wash would work best. 3rd degree is basically just silicone. That's why it comes out in 2 different compartments. It's very easy for it to come off later on. If it's a little bit harder to come off with some face wash, just add a little bit of, if you have any coconut oil, that would work well. I'm just spreading it out a little bit more. This look also works for zombies if you wanted to do that. If you're on a pinch and you don't have that much money, you can use like oatmeal or coffee grinds. Anything like that would work just great. So we are gonna wait and we'll get back to you in a second. So now that this is dried, we're gonna go ahead and add in some color. I brought out this color. This is a Color Cake foundation for Ben Nye. This is our Death Flesh. This one is supposed to wash you out in a color. So I'm gonna go ahead and use the same sponge. We're gonna go ahead and take off the edges again so we can have a little bit of a textured look. I have a little bit of water on the side. So I'm gonna go ahead and load it up with some water. We're gonna go ahead and test it for coloring. Sometimes you kind of just have to go with the flow and see what works best for your model. Okay, so you can see on her chin right here, it's going white. So we're gonna have like a discoloration going on and you can see how it looks like whiteheads already. The one reason why that I thought of picking this color, honestly, was to wash her out. You can make any kind of character with this. Now we're gonna do some real work. We're gonna go ahead and go in, drop that one off. We're gonna go back in Ben Nye, which is the bruise wheel. So I'm gonna add some, I'm gonna go in a different direction. I'm gonna actually add some of the green down here by her chin. Add it around the infected area. Again, a little goes a long way. I'm gonna go in on the yellow and actually add that right there on top of the infected area. Consider it warts, zits. So I'm using that dark brown red to go in the creases, accentuate them more. Add a little bit of irritation on her lip. So now that we have the discoloration, we're gonna irritate it now. So you wanna make it seem like she's been picking at it, or probably sleeping on it, scratching it. I did create little divots, but your pinky is your best friend. Make sure it's clean at all times. I like to anchor myself on the model's face, but I don't want to put my whole hand on her, so I just put my pinky. A lot of people like to use like one of those cotton pads to put on their face, but I like using my pinky, so that way my dexterity is just a little bit better. But make sure it's clean, just in case. You don't want to get product in any of the areas that you don't want. So I'm adding some of the discoloration up here and stippling it out. I'm sorry, love. I'm beating you up for real. Oh my God. Okay, so we are scratching out the product. It kind of makes it look like it has wrinkles. So I really want to make it look like it has the skin kind of scrunched up from right here because it's healing. I'm gonna go back in, use some of that bright red. But if you don't like the discoloration, you can definitely go back and use your model's foundation and you can definitely blend that in. But for the time being, we just wanted the discoloration so it can make it look like it's infected. And here's the look right here, and ta-da! All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and finish it off with the Ben Nye final seal. I like to spray once or twice on myself to make it, sometimes it comes out like spritz, and make sure that you let your model know that you're spraying them. Sometimes close your eyes. So go ahead and close your eyes, love. And we're gonna spray maybe a few inches away from their face, see how they, and let that sit. And they should be good to go. In the end, as soon as you move on to like a next model or you are done for the day, I like to switch out the brushes, whatever I was using. That way, if you have another model that you have in your chair, you make sure you're using fresh brushes. Also, if we've been using all the stuff, go ahead and use a sanitizer spray. This one's by Mayron. And go ahead and go over it once or twice, and you should be good, ready for the next model. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and remove this side right here, so like the warts and the infected area. I do have a Prosthetic remover. This one is specifically for like latex products. This would also work as any other kind of remover. So I'm using a cotton ball. I'm loading it with this. So I'm going with a cotton ball and I'm just massaging it until it comes off. So if you move on the side, see, gone. Just pull it. And if you feel like you're getting a little bit of resistance, go back and add more of that remover and massage it off. And you're just gonna repeat that until you have everything completely off. And we're all good.